Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about VCT EMEA Stage 1 Week 2 results. And let's just say things are getting a bit Carmichael 2023 like for one or two certain teams. But either way, let's move on. But obviously, before we get into the results, let's first talk about next week's scheduled matches. So first, to start off, we have Fnatic versus Gentlemates. See how long that goes. Then Carmichael versus Na'Vi. That was gonna be a pretty good matchup. And then the next day will be BBL versus Team Heretics and Vitality versus Foot. Next up will then be Team Liquid versus Giant X, Nats versus Redgar, and then finally to round off the week, that being Fnatic versus Koi, which I expected to be an absolute stomper. But let's now have a look at this week's results. So first out with Foot versus Carmichael. It was a 2-1 victory for Foot against Carmichael. Do you classify this as an upset? For me, I don't think so. Foot, yes, they did struggle in kickoff, but they have improved drastically from where they were in kickoff. I mean, Carmichael is still a very good team, no doubt about it. But Foot have improved massively. I think it was mainly like CNET. CNET and YitaJ, both of them just popped off in this game. So I'm not really surprised about it whatsoever. But it's still a great showing there from Foot. And I hope that they're versus Vitality next, which is a pretty decently difficult match. I think both of them are in equal playing fields, I should say. Jesus Christ, that took way too long for me to say. But either way, great showing there from Foot. Carmichael, they kind of struggled, but it is Foot Esports, to be honest. They have some great players like CNET, like YitaJ, like Mr. Fallen, Caraxes, at the captain. They have some great pieces, so I'm not surprised that they struggled, but still, either way, I mean, it's Foot Esports, so what else do you really expect? Next up, Team Vitality versus Team Heretics. It was a 2-1 victory for Vitality against Heretics. 39 on Breeze for Vitality, 31 on Sunset for Heretics, and 39 on Icebox for Vitality. I mean, once again, just like in the Carmichael Foot, I expected this to be close. Vitality, they were actually alright in kickoff, but they did get smacked around by Na'Vi in the first week, so that kind of worried me. But then, if we get a team like Heretics, who's also a midfield team, and Vitality is also a midfield team, then it can be very competitive, and, I mean, Vitality showed it. It was very close. So, yeah, it was great showing there from both teams using the Yoru, which I still find quite funny. Astra as well being used on Vitality, which is interesting. Pretty sure it was by Trex. So, they definitely are cooking some new stuff, but at the same time, Vitality, they do have better pieces, in my opinion, than Heretics. But also, we have not seen Woot actually really play with this core. I don't think at all. I'm pretty sure at all this year. I don't think he's gonna be here in Stage 1. But obviously, I might be wrong. But I do hope that Woot at least comes in pretty soon. Next up is the brother duo battle, Na'Vi versus Team Liquid. It was a 2-1 victory for Na'Vi against Team Liquid. Oh boy. Well, where do I really start about this match? I guess let's talk about the 10-2 advantage Team Liquid had in Split. 10-2. And they lost 13-11. That is embarrassing for Team Liquid. Other maps as well, 13-10 on Lotus for Team Liquid and 13-5 on Ascend as well for Na'Vi. So Lotus was the first map, Split was the second, Ascend was the third. They did also cook up this really weird comp on Ascend with a Yoru, a Viper. It was just a weird comp that they have on Ascend. I mean, they cooked it, but it didn't go well. They got smacked around, I'll be honest. So I'm just not surprised. But because Liquid, they're also like trying new stuff. It just hasn't really been working. I mean, Liquid, they have definitely fallen from grace to where they were a couple of years ago. So that's clearly showing, but it's just not really good showing there from Liquid. I mean, I appreciate them cooking a new comp, but it just needs more work done. It needs more, basically just more comps. Like, I guess I will say, like, better just play around with the team and the ability usage as well. But it's just I don't really like that comp, I'll be honest. But a Split one, I'm very disappointed about, I'll be honest, on Team Liquid. I mean, imagine having a 10-2 advantage and then just losing the second half. That'd be horrible. Next up, BBL versus Koi. Now, if you haven't seen the TMV video, which is a great watch, I just want to say, you would know that Koi I'm fearing we might have a 2023 Carmine Cole type of year for Koi. I expect high hopes from this team from where they were in kickoff, because they were actually really pretty good in kickoff. But with a 13-4 on Bruce, 13-3 on Icebox, and Yoru as well being used, it's like, interesting. But I mean, BBL, they didn't use any duelers on Icebox, which is actually alright. I actually really don't mind that comp. But it's just, Koi, what the fuck are you guys doing? Y'all are just giving up or something. What the fuck is this? I'm just getting, like, Carmine Cole, like, the PTSD will say. Like, it's not a good showing from Koi, and I hope they improve to next week, but they are versing Fnatic. So, I don't know how well they're going to go against possibly the top team in EMEA, against maybe the worst team in EU, as I said, BBL is the worst team in EU in my tier list video, and they absolutely wiped the floor with Koi. They also got wiped by as well by Gentlemates, but they wiped the floor against Koi, and I'm a bit worried for this team now if they're going to continue with this trend. They might be they might be the worst partnership team. Like, they could be worst. They could be worse than, like, maybe not Tyler. DFM, I mean, DFM, they got their first win. It was like Americas. I don't know. Like, I mean, actually, all the Americas teams are pretty good. China are alright, to say the least. But, I mean, Koi, I'm getting a bit worried for them, I'll be honest. And then finish off for the final two matches. Fnatic versus Giant X. To be fair to Giant X, they made this game very competitive. It was a 2-1 victory for Fnatic against Giant X, 13-5 on Bind for Fnatic, 13-5 on Breeze for Giant X, and 13-7 on Split for Fnatic. Like I said, it was very, very close. They also use, I mean, Yoru on Split is also interesting. A Breach as well, which I have not seen in like a while. It's mainly used by like Korean teams, I'm pretty sure. I have not seen this Split on, like, Breach on Split in a while, so that's a good refresher. But, I mean, it's a decent showing there from Fnatic. I mean, after they got 2-0 by Heretics, but to be fair, all of them were kind of sick. This is still a pretty good showing, but it also shows that Giant X, they have improved from where they were in, like, last week, where they got smacked around by Carmine Core. This time, they actually made Fnatic run for their money. It was very, very competitive. So, it's a good showing there from Giant X, unlike in Koi. But at least it's now a Spanish org that the Spanish people can now get behind, obviously, if Heretics are struggling. Giant X obviously there, but a bit worried there for Fnatic. If they struggle this much against a team which are, like, I will say maybe on like the bottom pecking order, I'll be honest, in EU, I'm worried for Fnatic, because Fnatic, they should easily be 13-5, 13-6, even maybe 13-4. These teams like Giant X, maybe not really like Heretics, but like Koi, BBL when they verse them. I'm a bit worried over Gentlemates as well. I'm a bit worried there for Fnatic. I mean, they are just, they're not where they were in 2023. They have took a step back, maybe because Mini's now is maybe not the head coach, and now Elmer Putty is. I don't really know, but I'm getting a bit worried, I'll be honest, for this Fnatic team. But either way, they did get their first win of the stage, which was good, but they did struggle against Giant X a bit, so keep an eye out on them. And finally, the French orgs went at it. Carmine Cole versus Gentlemates, and it was 13-6 in both Split and Icebox for making a 2-0 victory for Carmine Cole. I am not surprised about this whatsoever. Gentlemates, like I said before in week 1, they are kind of like the Paper X of AU. They come up with these weird ass comps. I mean, Split, for example, a Sky, a Viper, which is kind of normal, Phoenix, Jet, Omen, which is also kind of normal. I was in Carmine Core. I mean, they still have the Raze, the Omen, a Viper. I mean, they also have a Fade as well, which is also pretty good, but they have the Yoru as well. But I mean, Icebox is it was just a mirror comp, so I don't know what to really think about Gentlemates. They're just a weird team. I mean, they smacked BBL around. They beat them pretty convincingly, and then they got pummeled basically by Carmine Core. I don't know what to really think about this team, but we'll see how they go against Fnatic, especially because that's going to be a really, really good challenge. But Gentlemates are just in a weird spot. That's basically about it. Let's now have a look at the standings after week 2. So Carmichael is now 2-1, so they're still in the lead of Group Alpha. Then BBL, Fnatic, and Team Vitality, all of them have a 1-1 record. Team Liquid has now gone down 3 spots with a 1-2 record. Group Omega, Foot, and Na'Vi, both of them still undefeated 2-0. Then there's Team Heretics and Gentlemaids in 3rd and 4th with a 1-1 record. While Giant X and Koi, both Spanish orgs, both of them are now down in 5th and 6th and 0 with a 0-2 record. And what does that look like now for the championship standings? Well, Carmichael now I have 5 points, obviously up from 1 from last week. Foot and RV are still looking pretty good, still with 2 points. Then BBL, Fnatic, Gentlemen's, Heretics, and Liquid, and also Vitality, all of them have 1 point each. But Giant X and Koi, both of them have 0 points currently to their name. So now, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me, especially on this channel. My pickers, I'll be honest, aren't really doing that good, but we'll see how they go until week 5. So that's really bad for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.